Welcome, geeks of all shapes and sizes, back to Geek Space. Today, we're going to talk about Moon Knight. It's coming out the 30th of March, so the end of this month, which should be in a week. We're excited about it. Now, personally, we don't know a whole lot about Moon Knight, which is shocking for the both of us. Because we basically made a YouTube video and a podcast on geeks, right? But we're good at research and good at reading the comic books. So we researched it. We're going to explain to you who Moon Knight or Mark Spector is. Then we're going to kind of go into it of where he's going to fall on the MCU timeline and everything like that. So first, let's explain who Moon Knight or Mark Spector is. Mark Spector is a mercenary, gun for hire, who just worked for the military. He spent many years in the military, but died in Egypt because he was double-crossed, got shot, died. And then he was enlisted by the moon god, Khonshu, in Egypt to go and deal out vengeance to anybody who deserved it. Now, Mark Spector has multiple personality disorders, and that's because of him taking on many personas throughout the years, such as Mr. Knight, which is kind of a little bit of a spin-off of Moon Knight, who is more of a fancy gentleman who goes and kicks ass. Then you have Stephen Grant, who's an actor, and he's who makes all the money, so that way Moon Knight is able to buy all the fancy gadgets and everything like that, like Batman. Then you have Jake Lockley, who is the taxi driver who basically gets all the information from the streets and everything like that, where Moon Knight can then dress up and go deal out vengeance. So that's kind of the rundown of who Moon Knight is. I can't wait to see this origin story in the MCU.
I don't know. I don't like I said. I don't like we said. We don't know too much about Moon Knight, so I'm interested to see how the show is. I know that they said that it doesn't take place in the current MCU right now, so I don't know if it means that it's like in the future of the films or future of the shows or anything like that. So, and then with the Netflix shows coming over to Disney Plus, I don't know if that's a mixture of that either. Like if that's going to fall into place of the city shows and stuff like that, or.
I just feel like it's going to be like Daredevil, Punisher, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, where they're in the MCU, but they're not within the movies like Captain America, Black Widow, and Hawkeye are. Now, with Hawkeye, right? Kingpin made his debut in Hawkeye.
What are you going to do with that?
And Daredevil made his debut in No Way Home.
Let's hear what he has to say. Matt?
You're gonna need a really good lawyer. Peter, you may have dodged your legal troubles, but things will get much worse. There is still a court of public opinion.
How did you just do that?
I'm a really good lawyer.
But, that's kind of the main MCU timeline.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Okay, I can kind of see what you're talking about. For me, I don't know. I feel like they're acknowledging him, but if they're making a show, I feel he should already be in the timeline if they're making the show. That or he's going off of the multiple infinite timelines after Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
You know, so he could be part of the MCU, but he could just be in a different timeline with the MCU. Because that's all going to come and take place once we see Multiverse of Madness, which comes out, May 6th? But this comes out at the end of the month.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we'll see where it takes place. I feel like it should. I don't know. I really don't know where it would take place right now in the MCU. I guess we'll just have to wait and see and watch the show.
I don't know. I feel like after the first couple episodes, it'll kind of explain where they're at. But like I told you before, this was a separate conversation, not on this. When they announced that the shows are moving from Netflix to Disney Plus, I told you that it's not a coincidence. And I think that it's because they're within that same MCU universe, where it's kind of like, you have the Avengers over here, then you got
the street heroes, on the side.
But what I want the most, because in the comic books, right, and this is how I know Moon Knight, is because within the Spider-Man comic books, Spider-Man and Moon Knight team up. right? And that's kind of how I was introduced to Ghost Rider, the Punisher, and Daredevil as well, was through Spider-Man comics. And I want to see Spider-Man and Moon Knight team up. That's where I think that maybe he could get his debut within the new Spider-Man movies coming out, is maybe they bump into each other or something like that. But what I want the most...
I feel like that's too big of a stretch to say that Moon Knight's going to appear in Spider-Man, because I feel like they kind of, they've teamed up in the comics, but I feel like they just kind of don't, go together as well as like how everyone wants to see Deadpool and Spider-Man. Because I can see that, because they've had multiple run-ins with each other. Spider-Man finds Deadpool annoying. Deadpool, is in love with Spider-Man. So I can see that happening, but a Moon Knight Spider-Man crossover.
Let me rephrase. I want to see Spider-Man within Moon Knight's episode, like a small little like cameo
or a mention
or a
poster or something like that. Okay, I can see
that. Not necessarily Moon Knight being in Spider-Man. Just to rephrase. That's not what I meant.
Okay, I can see something like that happening.
Right. No. The team up I want within like the same universe though, like the main team up I want with Moon Knight is with the Punisher, which is John Bernthal coming back as the Punisher.
He said that he would be open to coming back as the Punisher, that he said he loves the role and he would be open to coming back, but they have to do it right. He said that he put so much commitment into this role and he felt so much attachment to the role that if anyone else were to do it differently, he said he wouldn't be interested. And I completely get it, because the way he portrayed the Punisher was just amazing. And
that's Kevin Feige and Ryan Reynolds' fight about the Deadpool movies, is that it needs to be a rated R. It needs to be like Deadpool, right? And it's the same with John Bernthal Punisher. Like the Punisher, I don't want them to do the whole comic Punisher thing where it's like, oh, you know what? Now we got Frank Castle, who's only going to work with the Hand, the Hand is a criminal organization of ninjas throughout the Daredevil, Elektra, and those comic storylines, right?
It's kind of like the League of Shadows for Batman, but it's Marvel.
Yes, exactly. But basically, the Hand recruits Frank Castle, tells him you can't use guns, though, within the Hand. You can only use swords. That's why they changed the stupid skull. I'll put a picture up right now. I hate it.
Is that the new time? Is that the new time thing? What they're doing with the skull? I heard they changed the skull mainly because of what people were using it to represent, and they didn't want the Punisher to be associated with all the other crap that's been going on in the world. So that's why they changed it. I hate the skull. I won't lie. It looks weird. But yeah, I can possibly see that too.
Yeah, no, but John Bernthal saying he'll only come back if the Punisher's right. I agree with that. Like if he comes back and I know John Bernthal will just be like, oh, what? Like you want me to use swords only? I ain't doing it.
Yeah.
Then they'd have to recast the Punisher, which would be messy.
I don't think for a Punisher show they would do that, especially because it's so recent that they just changed the logo and everything and all that storyline. I don't think they would do that if they were to do a new show. Not a new show, a new season for the Punisher. I don't think they would actually change.
And I trust Kevin Feige enough to where he likes the older style of comics that he wouldn't change it. I trust Kevin Feige would just be like, look at what like basically the Marvel company gives him, and he'll be like, oh, he ain't using swords. Like we're gonna have Frank Castle.
He can use swords, but he can't just only use swords.
Exactly. Yeah. But even then, I feel like that'd be kind of wading into Deadpool's territory, swords and guns. For the Punisher. And
Deadpool 3 just got its director, too.
Yeah.
It's the same director, I can't remember his name, same director that directed Nice Guy and the Atom Project. I still haven't seen the Atom Project, but I heard it's one of the best movies of 2022 so far.
It is a good movie.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard it's really, really good. And he's coming back to direct Deadpool 3, so that'll definitely be pretty cool. And it's staying rated R, too.
Yes.
So they confirmed that it's going to be a rated R film, which is you can't have Deadpool if it's like a PG-13. You can't censor Deadpool. That's Deadpool.
And they did. They did in Once Upon a Deadpool, which is basically just the Deadpool 2 remake.
See, I never saw that.
It's literally Deadpool 2, except they it's funny. The way they use the beeper for the cuss words is it's Deadpool sitting there reading a book with like a beeper.
Really?
So every time he says a bad word, he himself bleeps it out, and he's like I hate to do this, but sadly they wanted to make this PG-13. Like he breaks fourth wall doing it. It's so funny.
Huh? I haven't seen it. I heard it was just Deadpool 2, just a different a different version of Deadpool 2. Oh, maybe I'll check it out. I don't know. I think Moon Knight is just the Marvel version of Batman, in my opinion. I know that's what everyone compares him to. He's a billionaire. He's a billionaire. Wears a mask at night, and literally, you mentioned he's vengeance.
He is.
And how many times did they say that in this new Batman movie?
No.
He's vengeance.
Yeah.
I'm vengeance.
That's all they called him. That's all Catwoman called him. I was like, are you not going to call him Batman within this movie? Yeah. Spoiler.
I was expecting her to call him Bats or something like that. You know? The big bad bat. Nope, she
just kept calling him Vengeance the entire time.
I think they were really trying to push that vengeance thing. Like, yes, we get it. He's vengeance. We understand.
It's 6 episodes. Moon Knight is going to be 6 episodes.
What's the longest MCU show right now?
Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Is that it?
Yeah.
How many episodes? 9?
I
thought it was 6.
No, I'm pretty sure it was like 7 or something.
No, I thought it was 6.
This right here.
Look it up.
Yeah.
Let's see. I want to say the longest one was one of the first ones they started releasing. What was the first one they released?
No, it was 6.
Yeah, I was going to say I didn't think it was that long.
I guess maybe
WandaVision's the longest. WandaVision's at I think 9 episodes. Look up how many episodes WandaVision is. WandaVision was the first one they released.
WandaVision has...
I want to say it was like 9 or 8.
9 episodes.
9.
Yeah.
I was right. Yeah, so WandaVision, right now, 9 is the longest. And I think that they did really well WandaVision, of course.
Well, and you know what? Okay, maybe I'm not crazy then. Okay, and I think the reason I thought Falcon and the Winter Soldier had more was because they do a good job with making it hour-long episodes.
Yeah.
You know, WandaVision, it was like the first 4 episodes were like 20 to 23 minutes long.
Were they hour-long episodes for Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
Yeah, they were like 43 minutes.
Okay.
So
what I want, and this is off the Moon Knight topic, what I want them to do if they're going to do a new season for the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I don't want it to be called Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I want it to be called Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
And that's probably a similar opinion that a lot of people have, but that's what I want because he's no longer Falcon. He's Captain America. And I'm waiting for that version of Sam to make another reappearance.
Actually, now that we're on the topic of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, or Captain America and the Winter Soldier, they asked if we're terrible at researching these episodes. The guy that plays Falcon, what is his name?
Anthony Mackie.
Thank you. It's
Jesus.
your name.
It's my name, and you forgot it.
They asked Anthony Mackie if he wanted a cameo in Spider-Man No Way Home, and he said no. And it is only because Tom Holland made fun of him for not having his own movie.
You haven't seen Spider-Man Homecoming? I haven't seen the Falcon. Oh no, there isn't one. Sorry.
So he said until Captain America 4 comes out, he's not going to be in any of Tom Holland's
movies. I forgot they
movies.
confirmed that too, that they're doing a Captain America movie.
Yeah.
4.
Yeah, it was right after the credits for Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
I think it's funny how Captain America is getting a 4th film, but Anthony Mackie is getting his first solo film.
I know.
That's funny.
That's what happens when it's a mantle being passed down, you know?
Well, I mean, Tom Holland's gotten three films, and the mantle got passed down from Iron Man. He's still got 3 films.
Right.
Oh. I'm excited. I'm excited to see where the MCU goes from here. I think the Multiverse of Madness is definitely going to change up a lot of things of how we see everything now.
I'm not going to lie. Like, after Endgame came out, right? Like, after Endgame was done and everything, I kind of asked myself, like, what are they going to do?
Mm-hmm. It seems like it was literally, that was it for the MCU. Like, they can't go any further because everyone's kind of done.
That's what I thought, you know? And honestly, I'm a little ashamed. I thought that as a geek and as reading comic books and stuff like that they would stop at something like that. But
when does Thor Love and Thunder come out? Because that's going to play a big role too. Because that's another mantle being passed down from that. And damn, that's his 4th movie too.
Yeah, that movie is coming out July 8th.
Okay, yeah, that's coming. I don't think that's going to play as big of a make as big of an impact as the Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah,
but I still think that's another mantle being passed down. So that's going to be another thing to talk about later down the line.
But Like, I get what you're saying, and I honestly like the way that the MCU is going. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like, Eternals was all right. On
I
our
feel like
scale rating, I would have rated it at probably a 2 out of 5.
Yeah, I would give it. The only thing I really liked about Eternals is that the movies finally made a speedster look like a speedster. It didn't slow him down, didn't do anything like that. So they made her an actual speedster. Like, you can actually see her fight with the speed and all that. And I was like, see, Marvel knows how to get it done.
Yes. And she didn't run weird.
And she didn't run
like the
with her
Flash does.
arms like this. Like,
oh my god!
I've never seen anybody run like that in my life.
If
so
he
I don't
runs
know.
like that in the Flash movie, I probably will leave. Like, no, I won't. I'll be there for Michael Keaton's Batman. Let's be honest.
I'm gonna be so upset because I've never. I want to know how the audition went for that. Be like, all right, we need you to run, and he starts doing this. Like, that's what we need. That's exactly the form we need for the Flash, and this is how we want the Flash to run. That you just got the role.
Like in the CW, he runs like a perfectly normal person, and then
I don't know. CW does it better, but he still runs weird. He's bouncing like
he
this.
does. He bounces.
I don't know. I don't know any runner who bounces like up and down like this. Like,
oh man,
we still got Ant-Man Quantumania too this year too.
Yeah,
I just realized that's going to play a big role too because they're fighting. The main villain is King, the Conqueror King, not the pacifist.
Not the stupid one we saw on
No,
Loki. When he was first
pacifist
introduced,
King.
I was honestly like, "That's King," and then he spoke, and I was like, "What the hell was that?" I'm like,
He's
not.
He's not purple.
Yeah. So, man, but
well, I guess we'll see how that goes too because that's going to play a big thing timeline wise. So that might mix up a couple things since he is the.
No, I'm excited to see Moon Knight on Disney Plus though because this is a totally different
It's a darker
swing
to the Marvel shows than we've seen.
Because on a Marvel show, on a Disney show, we haven't seen
But that's the thing. I hope they keep
somebody to a bloody pulp.
I hope they keep it that way and not be like, well, it's Disney. We kind of have to take it back a bit. I hope they don't do it that way.
Right. I love the Punisher show because it's super realistic. Like if you got shot in the head, like it shows the blood splatter of you getting shot in the head. Yeah.
Which I hope they don't censor that in Disney
right.
when it comes over to Disney Plus because that damn mouse likes to censor a lot of things.
And that's the thing. Blood's messy. Hate to tell everybody out there that, I don't know if you noticed, but like if you go and you like chop your finger off, there's going to be blood involved, So like, if you got Moon Knight going and like, just punching somebody continuously, there's going to be some blood on the knuckles.
No.
There's going to be a guy with a bloody face. Like,
he's going to have that, that Clorox stick in his pocket though, so he can.
Yeah.
So he's going to punch and then wipe. That way,
yes,
it doesn't appear on the screen.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how they're going to do it.
But no, I'm excited for the direction this is going, though, because even if they do censor it, it's still going to be a darker thing than what we've seen.
Yeah. Well, I know Mr. Knight is supposed to be a little bit funnier version of Moon Knight. Mm-hmm. So he has that kind of voices, not as many voices in his head as Deadpool, but he still has those voices in his head. He's not, like I say, he's not as crazy as Deadpool, but he's kind of up there on the crazy scale when it comes to people in the MCU. But I guess we'll see how that goes when it comes time at the end of the month.
Yeah, we will see. But that is going to be all we have for this episode. Let us know if you're excited for Moon Knight. Let us know what your expectations are, what you want. If there's any cool crossovers with Moon Knight you want to see with this.
And what you think is going to happen, what your theories are, we'd love to hear them.
Yeah. But that being said, thanks for geeking out with us. We will see you next time.
Later.